Have you thought about what you're gonna lose when you retire? Obviously, retirement is wonderful, but there are some downsides. In this video, I'll talk about the 6 things that people most miss after retirement. Welcome, I'm Sabrina from retireon.com.au. The number one thing that people most miss after retirement is identity. The role at work defines you, and this definition literally disappears overnight once you retire. Especially the first time you're asked about what you do in life, this can hit you very hard, particularly if you're not prepared for it. And it's not just the fact that you don't have a job title anymore. It's also about the power and respect that you had at work. Some retirees I know often talked about these empty feelings once they're retired because they don't have this identity and power from work anymore. Number 2, limited borrowing power. This is another thing you may not have thought about, but once you retire, you can be very limited to borrow money from banks. I think actually it's quite safe to say that you can't take out a new loan without having a regular salary coming into your bank account. So before you retire, it may be a good idea to refinance your house or use it to borrow some more money for major repairs or renovations. But then on the other hand, it's not a very good idea to carry debt over in your retirement. So ideally, you do all these repairs and renovations to your house while you're still working and have time to repay that debt. So how do you like the information I've provided so far? If you like it, can you please subscribe to my channel? I would really appreciate your support. Number 3, respect for knowledge. If you've been working in your profession for quite a while, you may have gained a very wide and maybe even very specialized knowledge. You're able to answer all the questions that people ask you, and people respect you for your knowledge, the work you've put in to gain it and keep it up to date. You may be a real expert in your field. However, once you retire, this knowledge becomes kind of useless, because this specialized knowledge is not required in an ordinary retired life. People don't ask you questions anymore, and you're certainly not using it actively anymore and don't keep it up to date. So this can actually create a feeling of loss and can make you quite sad. Number 4, no more paychecks. Yes, well, this is something that you know and you expect from retirement, right? But you may not be prepared for how it actually feels once there's no more money coming into your bank account. It may be fine for 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 months. But then if you only see money going out and nothing coming in, and you also start taking money from your savings, this can create quite some negative, anxious feelings. Number 5, colleagues. Chances are very high that once you retire, or even during your retirement party, your colleagues tell you something along the lines, "Please stay in contact. Come by and visit us. Let's have coffee sometime." Yes, this sounds very nice, and they certainly mean it when they say it. But once a couple of months pass by and they start their new routine, the routine without you, they may not be thinking about you anymore. And even if you take the first step and actually go by for a coffee, they may not have time for you because they have more important things, work-related things to do. And you may also feel like there's not that much to talk about with them anymore because you're not part of the team anymore and you're out of the loop when it comes to office gossip and similar. But of course, if your colleagues are also your friends in private life, this is probably not gonna happen. Number 6, nowhere to go to. Another point that may affect men more than women once they retire is that they don't have anywhere to go to anymore. For the majority of their lives, they had very structured day routines and may have been a bit jealous of the retirees who got to spend the whole day at home. But once they retire and actually stay at home for a couple of months in a row, these feelings can change and they can get very unhappy about the fact that they don't have another place to go to anymore. Each one of those points sounds like a little thing, don't you agree? The problem is that they hit more or less at the same time, and this can be very stressful and create serious issues for some people, especially if they've never thought about them. But you watched until here. You're thinking about them, and your retirement planning includes social aspects and not only the financial ones. So because of that, I think you're on the way to the best retirement possible. Do you think there could be something else that you may miss once you retire? Please join the discussion below. Like and subscribe to my channel so you get notified when I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.